So, we talked a little bit about what the policy, we talked about the vision, talked about what the policy does, and now we want to talk about who it impacts. So we've got some people who'd like to come up. This is, actually, I did say lawyers will like it. She's an incredibly smart lawyer. She can introduce herself, but she's from the state of Florida, and just kind of want to talk about just how this bill kind of impacts her, what this, what she has done, and yeah, come on, don't be shy, don't be shy.
Thanks, Erik. So my name's Anessa Allen Santos, and I am a Florida lawyer specializing in the representation of emerging technology companies. But in the past few years, there has been a seismic shift in my practice, and it's caused me to start advising several of my most innovative business clients to leave America and start up their startups somewhere else. And while I was concerned that maybe I was taking my ethical mandate for zealous representation a little bit too seriously, once I started talking about this out loud, I discovered that many of my colleagues are doing the same. You see, the problem is the cost of complying with America's increasingly complex regulatory framework is simply too prohibitive for most new businesses. And when this burden is coupled with the failure of our governing bodies to issue and provide meaningful guidance to heavily regulated industries like banking and financial services, most innovative startups are simply locked out. This problem is particularly problematic and applicable to the world's fastest growing industry, blockchain. 3 years ago, The Economist published an attention-grabbing headline that the world's most valuable resource is no longer oil, it's data. And it's no secret that data management has its own challenges, especially where privacy and security are concerned. But blockchain and all of its related technologies are especially equipped to address and resolve these problems. In a recent report examining blockchain use cases across 55 big industries, CB Insights explained that what began as the basis of cryptocurrencies, such as Bitcoin, blockchain technology is now spreading like a wave through industries. And that ultimately, the use cases for a transparent and verifiable register of transaction data are practically endless. But by America's response, you wouldn't know it. Because of the growing environment of regulatory hostility to blockchain and crypto businesses, my clients have had their bank accounts wrongfully frozen. They have had assets seized, which were rightfully acquired. And my clients have had their businesses shuttered when foreign exchanges shut down and booted out all Americans overnight. Our government, by its lack of inaction, is effectively crushing what the rest of the entire planet has recognized as the fourth industrial revolution. And we are missing out. In response, several states, like Wyoming, have independently addressed this issue by passing legislation that aims to welcome the industry with open arms. And while this is laudable, it doesn't go nearly far enough. Congressman Gosar, his staff, and the folks who have drafted this bill understand the irony that although a pure blockchain demands decentralization, in order to really flourish, this technology requires a centralized approach to legislation. The Cryptocurrency Act of 2020 is a heroic effort to bring much needed cohesion to an industry that is currently fractured by disparate taxonomies, distinct agendas, and confusing, if not conflicting, regulations. To be sure, unraveling the technicality of blockchain is difficult, but this bill has been carefully crafted to provide narrow, precise rules designed to bring recognition, legitimization, and guidance for industry participants and also for its regulators. If this bill were passed, I would stop advising my innovative clients to leave the country and take their fabulous ideas with them. And I would help them grow right here instead. I have traveled here from Orlando, Florida tonight to ask you to help me and my colleagues change our advice. With your support for the Cryptocurrency Act of 2020, we can bring American businesses home, and we can keep American businesses home. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think lawyers like it, so it's good.